Hello, it's Alexis coming from southwestern Colorado, where it is the last day of February, and I have green grass popping up in my yard. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today, I want to talk to you about depression. I have never, ever considered myself a depressed person. In January of 2019, it was time for my beau of 15 years and I to separate. It had been coming for a long time, and in a brief conversation, it happened. We snapped apart. Within an hour of that conversation, I was on a plane here, never to return. That didn't depress me, because it had taken so long for us to get to that point. I felt like I had, like most of you who have been in long relationships, you just feel like you get to do your thing now. You get to be you again. All of that trying to fit in, trying to make it work, continually being challenged or having to compromise or figure out what do we need to do next to save this. That's all done. There's a lot of effort that goes into that. For 2 years, I was okay. I was finishing up my home renovation. I was getting into my new neighborhood. We had COVID going on, so that was a whole interesting chapter in itself. So there were plenty of distractions. But then in October of 2021, I had to put my dog down. It was, as most of you know, that is just a pain that just lingers and hangs like an umbrella over you all the time. But like most things in my life, I just picked up my little self and put my big girl panties on and carried on. It was difficult. We came into a really rough winter with lots of snow and lots of cold temperatures, and that dog was the only thing that got me outside. So I started sitting on the couch more. And in the evenings, that dog was the only thing that got me outside. And so instead of taking 20 minutes to eat dinner, I would graze for 2 hours. By summer, I was eating containers of ice cream on the couch. In October of 2022, I had a major falling out with a very close family member. We became estranged. I just fell deeper into the pit of despair. The cloud got bigger. For the next year, I spent more time on the couch, more time drinking, more time eating ice cream, and less time being outside. In July of 2023, I had a heart attack. I had to recognize what was going on, because when you have a heart attack, you immediately afterwards drop into a deep depression. Everybody that I've talked to that has had that experience knows the depression that comes afterwards. Then I was on programs with doctors to change my habits. I still had a hard time because I didn't realize I was dealing with depression. I thought it was just, me being lazy. I also retired from the corporate world in 2022. Let me tell you, for anyone who's not fresh into retirement, it's quite a switch. It's a lot of freedom that you haven't had in a long time, and it's only for those that are conscious to handle. I wasn't conscious. I know there's all kinds of depression out there. I know most of you are either dealing with it yourself or have people around you that you know are dealing with it. So the first thing I did was, much to my better judgment, got a dog. I realized that I had to have some kind of accountability. When you make a decision with something, if you have a plus column and a minus column, it makes it a lot easier to sort out. And with a dog, the minus column kind of exceeded the plus column, quite honestly. But I knew I had to do something that would commit me to a daily routine. That has helped. But there's still things that keep me depressed, and I have to work on it all the time. I know you're out there dealing with it just like I am, or you have somebody else that's dealing with it. So this is my solution. Get a dog. No. No, don't get a dog. I mean, unless you really need it. It has been a lifesaver, like literally a lifesaver for me. No, what I mean by that is, what do you need to do to make yourself a little healthier, to be aware of what role depression plays in your life, in your environment, in your personal relationships, in achieving anything? You know, that's another thing that this umbrella is. You know, now that we're older and we can do whatever we want, we're in retirement, well, that's a lot of time and a lot of freedom. That's like putting a kid in a candy store and saying, have at it. Okay, you end up with a bunch of sugar, but not really anything valuable. Let me give you some symptoms to look out for that aren't typical symptoms of depression, that may be relatable. And then we're going to talk about what we're going to do about it together. Okay, so in addition to sadness, loss of interest, and fatigue, now just think for a minute, do you ever complain about any of those? Maybe it's not just old age. Just saying. Okay, so physically, do you ever have any unexplained aches and pains? How about changes in appetite? How about sleep disturbances? Can't sleep? You think that's just old age too? How about digestive problems? Or reduced libido? Now, again, all old age symptoms. Okay, these are the behavioral changes. You withdraw from social activities. Are you even involved in any social activities to begin with? You neglect personal hygiene. Oh, when you're hanging out in your house, how many times do you actually really have to take a shower in a week? Don't answer, just think about it. Increased substance abuse? Dang, almost all my friends I know have at least one day where they say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Sometimes I'm definitely guilty of it myself, too. We're on a permanent holiday. No responsibilities to be anywhere we don't want to be. Leaves it wide open. Increased irritability or anger. Again, are you just an old curmudgeon? Or are you depressed? And then feeling restless and agitated. Well, to me, if you're not feeling restless and agitated in what's going on in the world and the way everybody's responding to it, you're not alive. So, okay, those are some of the symptoms of depression. Same as old age. You get to pick. Is it old age or is it depression for you? And if it's old age, are you going to do anything about it, or are you just going to sit there and take it? And if it's depression, are you going to do anything about it? I think one of the most important things that helps me with depression is setting goals. I made a goal to take myself on a beautiful trip last September. It was a big trip for me. It was 15 days and it was in several countries. It was a great goal, and since then, I haven't really had a goal. The goal before that was to relocate to Colorado. I'm here. So now I need a bigger goal again. And maybe that's what you need too. Think about it. Would you like to do some goal setting with me? It can be about dating. Over that period of chronic depression, 2019, splitting in a relationship, it doesn't matter how bad the relationship is, there's still going to be grief it's an ending. And then 2021, losing my dog. 2022, losing my relative, figuratively speaking. And 2023, having a heart attack. If those are not indicators of paying attention and changing some things, I don't know what is. So I didn't do much in 2024, kind of just rode the wave. But here we are in 2025, and I look at what I want to do with this YouTube channel. I struggle every day with things. Depression, ADHD, relationships, challenging myself to get out of the house and stay involved. All of those things are a challenge for me. And I want this community to share those challenges and successes when we overcome them together. I am embarking on a change for better with my physical health, and I hope you'll come along with me. That means by Easter and bathing suit time, we'll be looking a little finer. For that date, you know. Anyway, I hope you'll join me. In the next few videos, we're going to get started and make a plan, and I'll have some tools for us. Check out my next videos to learn what the next step is. But for now, think about what your goals are. Think about short-term goals, long-term goals, and anything in between. Let's quash this depression and just live in being old. Choose to change it instead of just blaming it on old age. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.